There is no way on heaven's earth you've not heard about the English writer and poet William Shakespeare. Now, for many writers, their first publication is usually an exciting one. In his case, it was an absolute disaster. It was a poem published in 1593 called Venus and Adonis. After that, he became a superstar. He published a whopping 37 dramas, 160 sonnets, and 5 poetry books. Now, a sonnet is a poem of usually 14 lines. First 8 lines is called an octave, while the last 6 lines is called a sextet. That's what a sonnet is. Now, apart from his poems, he wrote so many fantastic dramas. The very first one I read was The Tempest, Romeo and Juliet, As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing. He wrote Othello, there's King Lear, there's Twelfth Night, The Taming of the Shrew, there is A Midsummer Night's Dream, there's Hamlet, there's even Comedy of Errors, so many of them. But today I'm going to talk to you about my favorite, Macbeth. Now, let's just say like this. It talks about the story of not just ambition, but vaulting ambition. Take a listen. Macbeth, alongside his co-general Banquo, they are returning from a war expedition. On their way back to Scotland, they met with the 3 witches, Arometa. Now, the 3 witches prophesied to Banquo and Macbeth. They told Macbeth, Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, you will eventually become king. Now, what that meant was Macbeth was the Thane of Glamis. That was his original position. But they now told him that he was going to be the Thane of Cawdor and eventually become king. Then they looked straight to Duncan and said, you will not be king, but your offsprings will be kings. Those were the prophecies. Just while they were trying to, wrap around their heads what the witches had told them, a servant of the king came in and hailed Macbeth. Hail thee, Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth said, no, the Thane of Cawdor lives. He's held, he's a rich man. How can I be the Thane of Cawdor? Why do you dress me with borrowed robes? Thus, the first prophecy had come true. Macbeth went home, told his wife about the dream. The wife now sowed that seed of discord in him and said, since this has happened, let's go all the way out. But the witches had told Macbeth that Banquo will not be king, but his offspring will be king. So he killed he killed Banquo and his kids, right? And focus on King Duncan. Macbeth eventually killed King Duncan. In the midst of all of this, the king's sons, 2 sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, had fled to England, and Macbeth became king. He went back to the witches. I'm scared. The Thane of Fife, Macduff, was a very close general to the king, the murdered king. He had gone to England to meet with Malcolm, to find a way to oust Macbeth and install Malcolm as king. So this bothered Macbeth and he went back to the 3 witches. And the 3 witches told him 2 things. Until the Burnham Woods moves to Dunsinane, nobody can kill you. No man born of a woman can harm you. Now, fast forward, he met face to face with Macduff. But before he met Macduff got an army. He told each one to cut the stem of a tree. They cut the stem of a tree, and because they were much, moving the tree, if you look at it from the castle, Macbeth's castle, Dunsinane, it will seem like the forest was approaching you. So that first prophecy that the Burnham Woods moving to Dunsinane, that one has been fulfilled. Then he stood face to face with Macbeth, and Macbeth boasted, no man born of a woman can kill me. But Macduff told him, I was not born of a woman. I was removed from my mother's womb. That was where Macbeth lost hope, and he said, they have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly. Bear-like, I must fight the cause. That was how Macduff eventually killed Macbeth and installed Malcolm, King Duncan's son, as the King of Scotland. I just thought you should know.